Is here. Elliot viewers, I didn't fall asleep. I was actually getting stuff, including chunks of mysterious metal. So, good evening, people. Fashionably late Frank. Jack Attacks here, Mancus. Kevin Hartsey, Liz Edwards is here looking for flames. Gaz Young Live. Simon Coates, it's all started. And we're ready. Isle of Man time zone is a bit off. It is indeed a bit off relative to the rest of the world. There's your clock. There is your clock indeed. Right. So, how are you? Hello, family. Let's start the show. So, your clock is an LED clock. It also scrolls messages. It does lots of things. It's a full color LED video wall. It turns out it's very, very cheap to put together an interesting clock. And do you know how you set it? You set it with your Android phone. Can I get an LED clock? 45 RPM? Yes, you can. All you have to do is go into the description of this video and you'll see the listing for the 3 items needed, which is the controller and the 2 LED modules. Those are 32 by 32 modules. You'll also find an OpenSCAD script for printing off your little bracket for joining them that I just made earlier on. But this one is a thin because it was a prototype for measurement. The other ones are thicker. Does it say Woofle time? It can be programmed to actually, on the specific time, it can be programmed to say Jägermunion or Woofle. It can actually do that. The Woofle can even have pictures of flames in the background. Didn't think about that. Can they be controlled by an iPhone? No, John McFern, they cannot, because iPhones are weird. No, as far as I know, it's purely, I could be wrong, but it's purely Android, but I'm not sure. The bit of software is called LED art. Can it do purple? It can do magenta, yes. Can you join more of them? Yes. I could literally fill the full shelf by sticking those modules end to end and just tell the controller, you've got a bigger panel connected to you. Felix Moore, okay, do it. It would take a wee while to program it. How many colours? This is a simple panel that only does red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, yellow, orangey, yellow. I'm just saying that for Benji. Or white. It can't do multiple intermediate shades, but there are more sophisticated controllers that do. But what do you expect for a fiver? £5 for the controller for that. And it's Wi-Fi compatible. And then it just connects to whatever LED video panels you can find, but you have to set them up. The setup is actually also down at the bottom of the description for this particular set of panels because the information supplied on AliExpress was incorrect. It's not 1/16th scan. It is actually 8 blocks of 8 pixels that are being scanned on these modules. LED Art app is available iOS. Okay, that's good, John, so it is available. Food delay here, but Yum says Goofy Brain. That's reasonable enough. Could you add seconds? Can it do a rainbow flag? It might struggle. It can do lots of gay rainbow colours, but I'm not sure it can do the orange of the flag, but it can do the other colours. It can't do orange and yellow. You're going to get a shade of yellow. This supercomputer is actually a computer this time. It is a computer, Craig Matthews. It's running off an ESP32. We know this because I peeled the label off it during the Thursday live stream for the patrons. There's supposed to be one every second Thursday, but it does tend to be every Thursday, but it's not guaranteed. The next Thursday is the official one, though. Is it pushing vertical lines out? In that case, it would matter how wide the screen is, Horovac. It's actually scanning. It is a shift register. But it does matter how wide it is because that will determine the position of the text on it. Thank you, Jeff. Much appreciated. The position of the text and also your little whizzy borders you can put on it. Maybe I'll show you later on. I like the controller ESP32, Jonathan Hughes. It seems very capable. The 2 main chips, no, there's 3 main chips on it. The ESP32, a serial memory chip, and a real-time clock, because once you've set the time from your phone, you just basically say set time and it just takes your local clock time and uploads it. Once you've done that, it can then keep track of that. I don't think brown LEDs, that rules out the bear flag. It does, Graham Rule, but you do get video capable ones that could theoretically do the bear flag, but the bear flag is trickier. This one's fading actually. There must be a reaction with the ink, or maybe it's being whiffled. YouTube's compression is having a field day with it. Ah, okay, that kind of does make sense. Oh, I can see all the splatter of colour. It's worth mentioning that even in the dark, you can see a slight ghosting here and there. Thank you, Chipmunk, and thank you, Hendrik Ostrov. Where'd you get the screen and what's the cost was? The screen came from AliExpress. Time for Teletubbies? I mean, live warning. What? Henrik, all the information you need is in the bottom of the description of this video, including the brackets for joining the panels and a link to the AliExpress listing for the panels and the little controller and a little bit more information for the setup. I use ESP32 and 8266 for a lot of IoT shit. Indeed. Talking of Internet of shit, this unit, it will sell out quick, I reckon, harsh chalk. Those panels are just everywhere in AliExpress. The modules are everywhere. It's not going to sell out. Evolution, the official Patreon stream has jumped to the wrong Thursday. I always used to be off. Now it's when I'm working. Oh, has it? Okay. We can maybe shift that. How's the wife, Clive? There is no wife, Fanautical. There's never been a wife. There will never be a wife. When did the fireplace turn green? Why is it green? Why is it green? I just did that for the hell of it. I just thought green flames would look quite cool. In reality, then I had to add a bit of white tape. It's green LEDs. Is it easy to buy things on AliExpress? Yes, Chopperina, you have a choice of giving them your card details and then they'll just charge the card without any further security, which I did not feel comfortable about. Or you can do it via PayPal, sometimes a tiny little surcharge, but you have the security of knowing that your card details are not floating around a server in China. Oh, they probably are already. Only 1 second difference between TV feed and laptop feed. Excellent. Yet another subscriber is unfashionably less late than usual. It looks neat. I like the green flames. I do too. It was that or blue, but the blue diffused plastic is on its way, so it might go blue. Ah, Halloween flames. Not blue flame, BRM bug. It can be a blue flame if desired by changing the LEDs to blue. Might do that, might not. I quite liked it actually with if you put the white LEDs behind the flame off, it's just a strip, as you can see, with a resistor just tacked to the back of it. It doesn't look that great. But if you do that, it looks like the Emerald City on fire. Drought Fern says, the fireplace in my parents' caravan uses blue and orange LEDs to flames. Now, you know what? I could have done multiple colours. David Aylward, I never get anything from AliExpress. I order but never get. I've never had that problem, even in the Isle of Man. I wonder where it's going missing. The links to Wi-Fi sign and panels is the same. Oh. Right. 1 moment, please. I shall correct that. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I sneezed. Oh, security-wise, the password for these signs is 88888888, which means that if you scroll by an Asian corner shop with one of these signs with all its wee starbursts and stuff like that, it might be worth looking for a little rogue Wi-Fi network with a name roughly like. I shall go and check if I've done that right. You should add WS281 to be LED strip and an ESP with... No, Henrik, it's not needed. It's fine. It can do chasing borders as well. Oh, in that, the fireplace, that's possible. Let me think. The network in this one is called Wi-Fi WF1 understroke and then a number. WF1. And if you were able to log on it with the A8, you'd have to reprogram the sign from scratch, including change its settings. You could fuck it up, actually. At the moment, it's running at its lowest intensity of 2%. That doesn't mean it's going to be 50 times brighter, but it can be very bright. It's running at 300 milliamps from this little power bank here. Oh, there's a little blinking LED in the background, the little heartbeat LED. How often do you use Abe's X-ray device? It's mainly an ornament, but it does get used from time to time. Anyway, let me just look this up and see if I have indeed screwed up by putting the wrong links. One moment, please. With you in a moment. LED out? Is there an LED out? I don't know. Don't think so. You never know. It wouldn't really be a huge issue if there was, but sometimes the text looks as though it's got LEDs out just because of the font it's using. Like, say, for instance, is it going to do it? Is it going to show? I'm not really seeing an LED out. I don't think it'd matter if a few LEDs were missing. Right, tell you what, content. For some reason, bit concerning, YouTube demonetized this channel last night completely. The monetization disappeared completely, and it was saying you're going to have to upload other videos and then give them an approval yourself just to get your status, or might not be financially enabled, or, and then it all sorted itself out. It was very odd. Dunno. But it sorted itself out. Fran also had that issue. Here's bits used. Note the moving message signs. They both lead to the correct bits, I think. They are for two separate items. Did you just double enter that one? But those are, one's the sound controller, one's the video wall panels, if I've got that right. I think I have. It looks all right to me. I've seen a few YouTubers today with the same issue of being demonetized, Alistair Call. It's very worrying when that happens. It just reminds you, keep a real job, because stuff going wrong, you can instantly lose all your monetization. And in the past I've lost monetization on my entire main channel for a month before I've just looked at, I don't really keep on top of it, looking at the figures, and I just looked at it and thought, that is really low. And all the recent videos that I'd put out had no advertising or monetization on it at all. And they just defaulted all the advertising off, which is very strange. I don't know why it happened, but there's no comeback when that happens. It's gone. You've just lost your entire earnings for a month, or until you spot it. I think it's because they're changing too much. No UV sterilization or Jägermeisters. UV sterilization to keep all the mold at bay, probably. And I'll go a couple of times. For the people who are flooded out and their houses have been destroyed, it's just, oh, it's been unpleasant. But in which case, the first year communion goes to the very hunky line workers who are reinstating power in Florida and other places. That's it. It's the new feature, Brian Cox. It's not demonetization, it's demoralization. I've got a little thing, the patrons know what this is. It's very neat. It's a really quite a nice video, actually, I have to say. It is using trash found lithium cells for lighting. I've now tested it. You can plug this into a USB charger. If you're in a place that's going to have power cuts, put on some decorative lights. These are a little resistor in series or a little panel. And the LED lights will run from your USB charger. Power fails. In this case, these LEDs will stay lit for a day, 24 hours or more, continuously when the power fails. Useful. The links are absolutely fine. This is good. Budge cunts? No, David Aylward. The cunts are the people that keep asking the software department to change stuff, probably. Bottom middle LED is out, I think. Bottom middle LED. No, there's a little rubber dimple to stop it sliding off the thing. But it never lights anyway. Bottom middle? No, it's going behind. It's going behind a little rubber dimple here. So they're all lit. It says free shipping for me. As it did for me, which is odd to the Alamand. It came through really quickly. Needs more orange stuff. There is the orange power bank powering it. Hmm. You can see it in the tail of the G. Indeed, it is the L monk. It is just basically passing behind that thing. I'm scrolling down to catch up with where you're at. But it's fine. This has happened in the past. I wasn't too worried. I mean, I was slightly worried, but not too worried because as long as it doesn't happen to the main channel, that'd be fine. Did you see my last super chat, Henrik Ostrov? I did I? Oh, no, I didn't. Ah, thank you, Henrik. What's the max panels you can add to the controller? If you look at the controller's description, it'll tell you the width in pixels it can handle because it's all down to it's got a certain height it'll handle up to, and it's got a certain width it'll handle up to. If you want more, you can get another different controller, a bit more expensive, more memory, I presume. Is that a Woo approved UV LED? It is not Woo approved, the Monk. It's non-germicidal. Can do without a wash this week now, Shogun says. Looks like a 1-cell 2-power lithium LED thingy. It is, Steve. That's what it is. Bonsoir, nuts and proud. How hard is it petrol-fired generators in the UK? It's fine, John McFern. I would expect. I've not looked for one. I don't need one. I wouldn't go for a generator. Ralphman says decorative lights very useful for maintaining morale during a disaster. They also provide illumination, and if you've got white ones, then they'll provide your illumination. You could even make a little head torch by sticking on a bit of, well, taping it onto your baseball cap or something like that. Can you make the LED panel go up in flames? It can do flame effects, but because of the limited color resolution of this panel, it does basically red and yellow. Could you do fancy animation art in that? You can do interesting things with it. Greetings to North Nottinghamshire, Mr. Markey. How else would you fire up the boiler during a power cut? I wouldn't. Good evening, Electron Box. Whiffle? It's not whiffle time yet. Whiffle time is when this says 30. And not before. Love the haircut, 4468. I did it myself, can you tell? I think I got most of the stuff. You guys can tell me, did I get all of it? Because sometimes I miss bits. It's not so easy seeing whiffs of hair in the... I'm looking at it now and it looks okay. Franco Walker says, I've got a 16 by 16 LED panel and a Raspberry Pi. I must learn how to use them. If it's one of these, it's more complex than you think because on the back are column drivers, MOSFET, row driver, should I say, and then the columns are the serial data going in. Goofy Brain need program display, so it says Woofler, your communion. It can do that. It can do it on a specific time zone. Your fringe isn't straight. Well, that's okay. I'll just tilt my head then. Grant Rennie, my comments keep getting insta-deleted. Who's doing that? I'm not aware of MD insta-deleting your comments. Have you got live chat enabled as opposed to top chat? It might be doing that. I don't know. Especially if you've been putting a few. How many panels are joined together on that one? Just two. Just two panels. The clock's alarm should be a train horn. There is no alarm. But what it can do, with a bigger controller, it can actually take other options. You can do other things, like for instance, add humidity and temperature detection to it, and it'll display temperature. Glasses strength very high, Soviet Ventures. Now these are my reading glasses, so they're pretty big. I don't know, do they make eyes look bigger but in them? I'm not really sure. Milk bottle bottoms. Any NBC threat tonight? I do hope so. I hope not, Mr. Eggcake. How bright can it go? How bright can it go? Let me just check that right now. So what network am I connected to? Currently connected to the wrong network, so I shall connect to that one's network. I am now connected to that one's network. There is no internet. That's right, it doesn't connect me to the internet. What options do I have here? It's no internet access. That is correct. Brightness. So it's currently at 2%. That's it at full brightness. It's not that much brighter, is it really? Don't know how much the current is. But I'm going to run it way down to the minimum because it's not needed. And the battery will last longer. Time. Let me update the time in it right now. Automatic. I just press OK and it goes boop. And it's just updated the time on it. Screen test. I don't think I'm going to do the screen test. That went horribly wrong last time when it does an LED test. And it's running from a USB cable at the moment and it crashed because as soon as it tried lighting the LEDs at full intensity to do line tests, the voltage dropped to the point the processor crashed and then it got stuck in a loop doing that. So not so great. Let me see, what can I put in here? I could change, hold on. I could change the clock color. Do you want to choose, well, the text here? I'll change it to magenta. Is that nice? That should be okay. We'll go for magenta, bigclive.com. Oh, you want it green? I could make it green. The green clock. The green clock's possible. So let's go to the clock now. And I shall change the color of the clock. Let me see. Single line clock, where is it? Display mode, single line, border, no border, background, no background. I mean, I really don't want a background. Like, what could I have here for the background? We could do something hideous. That's not the background anyway. What? Solid color. Oh, that's going to be quite bright. And it's going to be, yeah, that's going to really increase the current consumption. And the background alternates to red. Liz Edwards says, what's the time? Is it woofle time by any chance? Let's have a woofle. An electrically ignited woofle. It still has woofle juice in it from Thursday. I've not tidied it up. Woofling. Woofle. Woofle. Electrically ignited woofles. Oh, was it a bad sound? It is pretty hissy. Right, let's go back to this, what we got here. So, no background, background setting, clock, program, clock, it's this style. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, that's, I definitely didn't want to do that. Hold on, just give me a second here. Those letters make a very painful sound. The compression took a lot of punch off it. Okay. Worse than nails on a chalkboard. Excellent. The time is gone. Has the time gone from the display? Not display the date. Oh. I've screwed this up big time. Week shows Chinese symbols. Not display the week. That's better. What about the colour? How do I change the colour in this? Display mode, single line, multi-line, two-line show. No, I don't need that. Date and week, swap locations, border. I could add a border into it. I could add a little chasing border like that. Yeah, let's add a little border like that. Okay. So let's see. There's a border. Oh, isn't that sweet? It's got a little border around it now. Can the front of the display be reduced one line of LED spacing would look better? It can. You can nudge the size of the font on it. You can set it to big or small. You can even have a round clock, but it doesn't fit very well on such a small panel. It's very low resolution. I think all I've got is clock now. I don't think I've got anything other than clock. So I'll go back. I think it's just so you can actually see what it looks like. So let's go back to here, send it and go back to the original. Scrolling message. Very Chinese font, shitty rainbow. It is, still ugly font. Yes, well that, I don't know if you can change the font on the clock. Just give me a second here. Clock style, font size. Just, hold on, I'll change the font size down a bit. Oh, that's very small. Is this going to be better? Hold on, I'll just check that out. What's it going to look like? It's much thinner now, but it looks okay still. It doesn't look too bad. The border is, it's not needed. Okay, but that's okay. I'll stick with it. Bear with me. Hold on. I shall just send this program back to it, so it's not just doing. So it's not just doing that. And I'll change the big Clive. I'll be with you in a moment. The big Clive bit I'll change to green. How's that going to look? Boop. Okay, that'll do. Return. Backed away. Disable that program, it's not in use. Send to this unit, confirm, and that will be it back to normal. Gay word the win indeed. Can it do swear words? It can. Yes, it can do swear words. It can do any words you like. Comic Sans the Dyslexics. You can change the font. You can make it slightly slanty. Shock possible with electronic lighter. Elliott Veers. Yes, because the first one I got, I did stick a metal object into it and got a very, very strange electric shock off it. It's extremely strange. Can it show emoji? I've not tried emojis. I'd guess it would do symbols. It can also do things like, say for instance, well, I chopped the tip of my finger off the server van. Be careful of those, David Aylward. They are quite powerful and probably sharp blades. But you can also have the sort of the starburst thing going behind it, but it's not. It's a bit over the top. I don't know. Soviet Ventures. Can it show symbols like gentleman's jewels or sonar? I don't think it could program specific things, but it's very versatile. I don't want to spend too much time programming because then there'll be less chat because I'll be so busy looking at the phone. It can do bum and pope poo pants, and other words. You could put the word CUNT with a little chasing border around it, which is the one you'd do on the shop window displays if they'd not secured it. I know Creative would be awesome if you could do a looping animation of Space Invaders. It would be quite good having the little Space Invaders just going backwards and forwards. 10 kV high frequency. Well, it's probably about 10 kV, maybe a bit less. Hold on, I'm just going to look at the length of the arc. I would say best part of 10 actually. About 8 kV probably, but it is high frequency. Can you send bitmaps to it? I don't know, Tommy Obson. Maybe the more capable ones. Oh, you can. The more capable ones, you can send photos to it, and you can have a photo pan in, and then you can have another photo come up from the bottom into it and stuff like that. And it can display video, I think, on some. I'm not sure. The chipmunk, that's aggressive. I figured out to solve the power crisis, attach 5 gigawatts of turbo voltages to Maggie Thatcher's wizened corpse, then tell her we're renationalise it all. She probably spins in her grave all the time anyway because she didn't get enough money. YouTube just sent a reminder of the stream. Excellent. Are you going to watch it, Tony? This sound is killing, Max Urban. Do you mean the hissing noise? Oh dear, oh dear. Do you know what I didn't do at the beginning? If you get here in the stream and you find out you're not actually at the live bit, your chat will be out of sync. And if you're getting this message now, it might be worth making sure the little live indicator is lit on the bottom of the screen, because otherwise just move forward to the end because you may not be in the live bit. We did try to tell you, the chipmunk, I was so engrossed in things. Right, okay, so tell you what, I'm going to get a cable tie because I have an experiment to do. I don't know if it's going to work, but I shall go and get a cable tie. Pernod and rhubarb juice tonight. Oh, there is hold on, let's see if I can beat the moderators to it. Let's see if I can beat the moderators. Oh, it's already hidden. Chipmunk 1. What was your work? What? Sex bot. Lots of sex bots. For those, just in case you're not aware of this, if you follow YouTubers and they don't really maintain their comment section, I do maintain my comment section well. And I actively use filters on all the latest scams. You may get the one that says, send me a message on Telegram. Hi, it's Big Clive, and it's got the picture of Big Clive and stuff like that. Or whoever you watch, and it'll be saying, I've got something for you. Or they basically try to extort you out of money. And people are saying, when am I getting the thing? And you're not getting it because it wasn't the actual YouTuber. They're filtered. I got a heart from Clive today. Dennis says, everybody gets a heart if they deserve one, and most people deserve them. I do go through the chat. I will say the recent question, do you wear work boots at work and do you have any skin problems as a result of wearing work boots, caused a huge amount of chat in the comments. Nicely trimmed comments section. 32 by 32 signs sold out, Nuts and Proud says. Okay, there's lots of other sellers. You may have to experiment to find out the compatibility. When you actually go into this, you get log into the little mini server up there. It does let you change parameters. And initially when I got these panels, all the text was splattered all over it. It was displaying, and I thought, is that just a test sequence? I don't know what it said because I messed it up before I got to see things. I've liked lots of these sex bots in FranLab chat. I've seen these sort of bots replying to my comments here and there, but strange these comments don't appear in Fran's channel. Thank you, Kenneth Evi. A toonie from Canada because my dog Yuri is here. Greetings to Yuri. Have you checked the pressure in your fire extinguisher recently? Soviet Ventures. Let me just check. What have I done to this? Oh, I have dropped this. There's a big dent in it. Hold on, I'm just going to check. Yes. It's up to pressure. I'll just go and wash that off my hands. Now, I noticed I was setting something up and then got distracted. That's why it ended up just a little bit to... No, I'm not going to lick it off a Kirka, although I don't think it's toxic. I'm going to get a cable tie for a live experiment. I have found a cable tie. Now, how am I going to do this? A bit of foam. A bit of kitchen sponge. Thermocouple. Thermocouple. How am I going to do this? What's he doing? Science. Thermocouple. I don't know if this is going to work, but you know what? Did that get filtered? Dunno. Sometimes stuff does. There won't be flames. Okay. Right. Here's experiment. I'm not sure if that's mating properly. I shall shove it in like that. I'm not going to disturb this once the experiment starts. This is a piece of gadolinium. Gadolinium alloy, which is magnetocalorific. So I'm going to have to put that down. The thermocouple has just popped out. This is why I can't disturb it once the experiment starts. I'm going to have to work on something better for this. I shall do my best here, but I don't really know what's going to happen. Now I've handled it, the experiment is going to have to happen later on because, well, I've messed it up by heating the thing up my hand. Let me just get a temperature off that. What is the temperature? It says it's 24 degrees Celsius. That doesn't sound right. But that's maybe because I've heated it up. It is going down. Anyway, experiment. Can you tilt the phone down? I can't really. There's no point. I'll just hold the big magnet near it. Drink more, says Mr. Eggcake. It's still coffee at the moment. Is he reading the comments tonight? I'm not, Arthur. I'm just ignoring them. Could you turn the fire? Ah, that's a good point. That is a good point. That's better. It's not Irish coffee, it's just ordinary coffee. Where'd your hair go, JKH? It fell off. I need to do a better job of holding that thermocouple onto the gadolinium. I don't think that foam's solid enough. I'm going to see if I can find a piece of polystyrene. Sorry, styrofoam. Still working that. Where is styrofoam? I mean, it's like, it's not something, there shouldn't be a shortage of styrofoam here. Styrofoam and another cable tie so the experiment can continue properly. Are we taking shit to bits yet? Well, not really. Do you know when I learned to program this sign? Well, I would say last night, it was 5 o'clock this morning. The thermocouple will be in direct contact with the gadolinium. Not sure if that's going to affect its operation. I don't think it will. I think I need new snips. I've been cutting terrible things with them as always. This is to test if this is actually gadolinium. It's the only test I can think of doing is by testing its very odd characteristic of heat modification with magnetic fields. That is going to be super tight. But now I have heated the gadolinium up. For those who don't know what gadolinium is, it's in the periodic table. It's quite an odd metal. It's possibly the future of air conditioning and refrigeration. The setup is now more secure. There's a piece of styrofoam, there's a piece of gadolinium, and now I shall let it equalize to room temperature. It's now up to 26 degrees Celsius, which is not room temperature, because I've been holding it. It's fine. Let the experiment continue once it's ready to continue. I'm going to go and get some Guinness. Another nuclear reactor, it's not radioactive. That's one of the first things I tested. My little tub of gadolinium. Hold on, is there anything incriminating in this? Lots of languages. Very suspicious. It came from... Hold on, where did it come from? It came from Kazakhstan. That's where it came from. It was just the easiest place to get a decent quantity. Why would it be hot? It's not. It's because I've handled it, fan plant. It's what happens when I apply a magnetic field to it later on. Aldi, no. Fill in the kitchen. Expanded gadolinium. It's not expanded Z. That would have been more interesting, Ziba the Fat, if it had actually been puffed up, if it had been meshed. That would have been much more interesting. But this is raw gadolinium. That's the best place to get radium from, Dennis. Is it actually? No, I'm not so sure about that, because I've had my radium glass from other places. Not sure. From Russia with love, indeed. Germans will freeze this winter. I don't think so, the Happy Little Fox, aka Benji, because the Germans will be, they're quite technical and they'll improvise. Have you ever cable tied your ball sack for fun? No, Arthur Touches Jackson. I have not cable tied my ball sack. You can buy radium. Oh yes. What's that website in America? Is it United Nuclear will sell you anything? You make it display number of subscribers and maybe the name of the most recent anon. No, because that would require custom software. Gadolinium in solution is used for contrast MRI. It is, John Robinson. Ah, dark Guinness. They're already burning rubbish in Poland. That's how they heat this. Well, that's how they generate electricity here in Isla Man, a happy little fox. Earwax. What? Kazakhstan is not Russia, it's a separate country. Do you like a called Skull? Yes, New Rock Boy. I do not drink Skull. It's a very generic lager over here. Yes, that's the website for it, says Matthew Currington. Indeed. Clive going to the dark side? Dark side? Well, the Guinness. That's the contrast that makes you want to pee. What? I want to be a moderator, ultimate power, David Aylward. See, you're the wrong type of person to become moderator then. The Isle of Man is powered by financial money laundering and fraud. Oh no, it doesn't happen over here, it's all honest. Uh-huh. Do you have Boddington's ale? I think it is available here at Boddington's. And just tons of ciders, fruity flavoured Alcopop ciders, the completely chemical ones. Beware the people that seek power, Steve. You're talking about the government again, aren't you? There is speculation, it was speculation of French political forum, that the English government, the Tories, are just basically looting everything they can because they reckon they're not going to win the next election and they're just wanting to go out with as much as possible. Well, I think what they need there is an electric chair. For them. Ah, I dig the cider fan plant. It's very sweet and sickly. Yes, I like the cider, but I don't like the fact that it's basically super sugary. Mr. Eggcake, I'd be a cunty mod. Well, I do actually occasionally go through the list of people who have been banned just to see if anything nice has been banned, but it's all right. Is that the correct time? It is here, Ruswig. It is the correct time. Well, it just changed there in sync with the computer when I looked at it. Body's Draft and Guinness are Supreme Oscar Wilder. This is the one that's got the gonk in it, the widget they call it, that just squirts nitrogen into it when you open the can. Is gadolinium toxic? I don't think it is, but I wouldn't eat it, Max Urban. Let me just check if the temperature's stabilised yet. It is currently at 21 degrees Celsius. I'll keep an eye on this. What I'm expecting it to do is release heat when I put a magnet near it. 20.7. I don't know if it'll work or not. 20.8, 20.7. It's pretty stabilized. It's not that hot here, is it? Is it being affected by the thermocouple being on metal? Don't put it on bare aluminium, Fan Plant says. What's even the point of sex bots? They must work, or they wouldn't be there. Can we see the widget? No, because that's reserved for patrons. I'm only kidding. I took it out in a patron stream. It's basically a little plastic ball. Time for a fleur. Simon, what makes you think I don't have a fleur? I cannot find LEDER. What? LEDER, James Hauser. What? A 5R for that panel, how is it possible? Oh, 5R for that panel. The little module, yeah, super dirt cheap. Ridiculous. Massive processing power in the little controller. Buttons. The biggest bit, cost of these panels must have been the actual cost of them shipping them. Is it possibly a homemade RTG with some kind of obtainable radioactive element? Jake H, it is possible to make your own reactor, but I wouldn't really recommend it. The wrong sex bots as well. It's like, oh, do you want to see boobies? And we were like, no. Zuber is fine. Peter, what? US just announced Armageddon very possible ordering powdered juices and milk underway. Oh, they're not doing this. They did this in the past. It was all the Cold War and it was all scaremongering. And it was like, when you hear the alarm, get onto the kitchen table because kitchen tables are completely impervious to massive nuclear explosions. And it's like, well, I guess that'll, maybe they'll make a wee sandwich of dead people between a kitchen table and the floor. Oh, it's all postulating by pen-pushing fucktards. That's what it is. I bought a condensing tumble jar today. Fun trying to translate French manual. Nuts proud. It's probably the generic Hot Point rebranded as everything. Some of them have a heat pump in them. Mine doesn't. Good evening, Sparrow. BE4K. How's the temperature? The temperature's still holding there at 20.1. Right. Tell you what. Big neodymium iron boron magnet. Which is the most powerful of these two? Which is my most powerful magnet? The one I can't get off the... Oh, that's quite powerful. Oh, that one's powerful. Yeah, that one will do. This one? So, theoretically what I'm looking for here, without disturbing this, without influencing it, is it going to liberate heat when I put a magnet up next to it? I've not tried this, so it's saying 20 degrees. Oh, it's stuck to the magnet. Right, the magnet is stuck to it. Is there going to be any major change in temperature? I would say yes, that's not the magnet temperatures influencing it, is it? No, it's bouncing up and down. Don't really know. The idea with gadolinium is that when you expose it to a magnetic field, it liberates heat, and then when you take the magnet away, theoretically it will absorb heat from the ambient environment. This is very vague, isn't it? I don't see anything happening. Maybe this chunk of fucking steel or something. I'm not really sure. then theoretically, when you take the magnetic field away, it should try and reabsorb that heat. Or have I got it the wrong way round? It's supposed to change temperature. I think it may require massive magnets and a more refined metal. Nothing's happening. The experiment has not gone to plan. It's just yo-yoing up and down. Okay. Right, that will require further research then. Okay. I shall maybe just stick the magnet to this and just leave it there and see what happens, then keep you updated. And now I've done that, the temperature is rising. 20.8. Is that just because I've handled it? It could be because I've handled it. But it will temporarily give off a burst of heat, and then it will try and, if that's taken away, it will equalize, and then it will go, okay. See the radioactive Boy Scout? Yes, indeed. Turned his backyard to Superfund site. Superfund? Tell me about parallel charge your 12-volt leisure battery. You get special controllers for that. Not sure the exact science of parallel charging. You can't just smack them in parallel. Otherwise, you get quite significant current flow. It might be when you bashed it into the bench. It's currently displaying 20.6 degrees Celsius. Fridge and freeze the first time coats. I'm not sure that would be the correct thing to do. My pee was blue today, says Phenotical. That's very exciting. What had you been drinking? Can you carbonate gadolinium? I'm not really sure. If you could fluff it up with carbonation, it would be quite good. What do you store in all those drawers behind you? Resistors, capacitors, semiconductors, connectors, everything. The future of refrigerants is ammonia. No, that's like, and carbon dioxide, Jonathan Hughes, but the carbon dioxide one, they couldn't get the tolerances in manufacturing and engineering. So in the early days, but now they can. So carbon dioxide, it works at stupid pressures. It's a bit dangerous, quite frankly. Methylene blue makes your pee blue. Oh, right, okay. Jaeger Munion. Well, I've drunk a Jaeger Munion to the lineman, restoring power. To the people without power. Hope you're doing okay. Nice clock, says Gazareths. Why, thank you. I made it myself. Well, I put the modules together and then programmed it myself, but really it's just off-the-shelf components. It's currently displaying 20.3. I'm now going to try, without actually, how can I get the magnet off this without interfering with the experiment? Ugh. I've taken the magnet away. 20.2. Is it going to do anything? I don't think this is going to work. I think it has to be refined material. How else do I prove this is or isn't gadolinium? 20.1. The temperature is going down. Not sure. 20. The temperature is going down. So I think that is gadolinium. I've just made a statement like some Karen scientist who just basically just fabricates evidence to suit what they want. 19.9. Temperature's going down. That's interesting. That would be the characteristic I'd be looking for. When the magnet gets removed, it then tries to, its molecules allowed to actually, they can move again, they can move more freely, and it tries to stabilize its temperature by pulling heat from the environment, and in doing so, seems to get cooler. 19.8. That's more like it. I think that is gadolinium. Good, because otherwise I'd have spent lots of money. What's the room temperature? The room temperature, I can tell you the room temperature if I take I'm going to leave the experiment running for a wee tiny bit longer. It's at 19.8 at the moment. 19.6. That's interesting. That's the lowest it's gone yet. Okay. Fluorescent makes your pee glow. Yes, it does. I've tried that, Bob S. How many volts the clock? I assume 12 volt DC. You assume incorrectly. It is currently being powered, as with all these LED video walls, from a 5 volt supply. This little power bank here is powering the video wall. It runs at 5 volts. In fact, what's your poster circuit board do? Soviet Ventures. My poster circuit board. Oh, this up here. It's an RGB controller, a knob-based RGB controller. A blast from the past from my website. That's holding at 19.6. I don't think it's going to go any lower, but I'll leave a bit longer. But I thought it would have stabilized by now. How on earth would you use that for AC? 19.4. In AC, they have magnets rotating in a valve system that pumps a sort of glycol water-based fluid over a mesh of that material. And as the magnet passes over, it liberates the heat, but it diverts the hot circuit through it. It's got sliding valves. So the hot fluid flows through it to actually cool the gadolinium down, to take the liberated heat away. And then as the magnet moves away, the next port comes into position and the cold circuit flows over it. And that then, the gadolinium, as it absorbs heat back out, cools the liquid. BASF currently have a wine cooler working with just this motorized magnet system. It's about twice as efficient, theoretically, as a traditional fridge. It's a 19.4. 10 degrees Celsius here, Happy Little Fox, aka Benji. That is luxurious. So Adventures, will you accept my brother or sister's hand in marriage? No. You're beautiful, I need your genes in my family tree. No, thank you. I will never marry another person, man, which it would be. But no, it's unlikely. It's 19.2. Now is it just reading room temperature? Fuck knows. I'm going to end the experiment at that. No, I don't want to extend. It's going down. But having said that, let's find out what the ambient temperature is by pulling the thermocouple out and swishing it in the air a bit to get the ambient temperature in the room. It's hot in here. It can be. 17.5 degrees Celsius. I've skewed that experiment by holding that, haven't I? Anyway, yes. Continue drinking beer. We'll see Clive. It sounds like a Peltier refrigerator, Jonathan Hughes. It's not. If the gadolinium one is very different. You're beautiful, I want your genes in me. No, David Aylward. Yes, you have, Clive. Lol, Grimshaw. But that's all right. I'm not the only person who's putting out fake science. Have to be careful not to upset Horrorvac again. When I pointed out that the research that showed that boric acid causes testicular atrophy in dogs, it turns out that that's shrinkage over their testicles. It turned out that they fed the dog more than the level considered toxic. Don't do that to dogs. That's utterly pointless. You could sell your jeans as well. I don't really wear jeans, Jeffrey Water. It's always work trousers and they're not jeans as such. Testicular atrophy, shrinking testicles, James Speakman. Fake science is mouse. We need weird science. Weird science is better. Frank's off to bed. Good night. I just want your work jeans, says Goofy Brained. There is this thing that you occasionally see another YouTuber and you do kind of want their clothing for some reason. It's just, I don't know why. It just has that image to it. And I've spotted in the street, I've seen people as they pass trying to look at the labels on my clothing. Then again, I was wearing extremely baggy shorts from very strange sources. Eating boric acid is probably not fun. It's not that exciting, Chris, and it's not going to be great for the intestinal flora in your stomach that is needed because it is a fungicide and probably not great for that. But you do get boron pills. Do magnets weaken over time if left stuck to steel and iron? Not really, I don't think. But they do weaken if you overheat them or subject them to vibration. Where's the huge LG panel from? I need one. The S You will find the bits referenced in the description of this video. And then you'll have to work out how to program it yourself. Tough clothing. What's to make of that padded lumberjack shirt now the weather is cooling off, Mouse? The shirt, let me just double check. The temperature in here is sitting at 16 degrees Celsius. So that was totally skewed with the gadolinium, not unless it put out loads of heat after me holding it. It needs to be done better. James speaking, it is a bit random tonight. Homepage. Gmail. Padded shirt. Order update. Men's padded shirt. Is this the padded shirt? That is the padded shirt. Is it still available from the same seller? You've purchased more than one of these items. Yes, I have. Here's the link to this exact shirt. That didn't work. There we go. There you go, Mouse. Grab yourself a nice, warm, snuggly, fleece-lined shirt. It's very good. DIY Spectrum as a badge for bears. Oh, right, okay. Sylvia Ventures, I've submitted the papers to marry you off to my brother Carl. He's an accountant with Electric Mood Swings. No accountants, only the roughest and toughest and broadest shouldered blue collar bears, if you don't mind. If they can't talk tech, there's no point. I keep ripping out the side pocket of my shirts. What are you putting in them, John? Next meetup, everyone is going to be wearing your clothes. That would be embarrassing for Nautical. Oh, there's Star Delta. Greetings, Star Delta. There's a nice link just up there that I put to the padded check shirt Star Delta. Perfect for work if you're working stuff outdoors. You get non-alcoholic. I believe there may be non-alcoholic Guinness over here, Brad. I'm not sure why you would drink non-alcoholic Guinness. That is the point of drinking this stuff in the first place. Anyway, I'm going to put my little bit of gadolinium in with my other bits of gadolinium. I'm going to cut this cable tie off. I'm going to slide it. No, it's not going to slide off. One moment. I shall conduct this scientific experiment properly later on. As opposed to doing what many of the shit scientists on the internet doing and just announcing, yes, it kills babies. Yes, if they eat it, it kills them. Yes, that's it. Poor wee babies. And it causes... No, I was going to say the big C there. I'm not going to say the big C because that is just like one of their stock things. Kills babies and causes the big C. Yes, that's right. How Karens get attention for themselves. What was the other thing they said about the boric acid? Oh yes, it kills babies. Yes. I didn't find it caused birth defects or something. I'm not sure about that, but there is a risk that during certain stages of pregnancy it could, particularly if ingested in largish quantities. But the other thing I found was that the babies that had been poisoned with it accidentally, what they did, someone picked up a jug of water that had been... boric acid had been dissolved in it to make a antifungal bacterial sterilizing thing because boric acid is great, and they used it to dilute baby mix and they fed it to the babies, and the babies weren't very well, but they both recovered. So it's definitely dangerous to babies if you mix it in large quantities into their baby mix. You sound like Dr. Strangelove just now. Right, okay. To go out or not in Aberdeen, Star Delta? Aberdeen, oh, don't know. Well, what's the weather like, Star Delta? You could stay in, you could have a drink. Bit too late to get something out of the off license now, but if you got drink indoors, you could just chill out with YouTube videos and not have to worry about the walk home. Questionable ethics all over again, says Steve. The United Nuclear website can't be real. It's real. They will ship you uh, radioactive material. They go to 5XL. They do, Okurka. I got a 5XL because usually shirts like this, I usually just go for the biggest because it might be Asian sizes. I got the 5XL, then I got the 2XL. The 5XL was a tent on me, which is fine. I've still got it, it's fine. Oh, you're only 1 hour off from me. Do you know what's quite pleasing? Watching the clocks in the background of um, the other me when he's in Las Vegas, because they've got a stage there that in Fremont Street that they put on live performances, and the bands that perform in it are superb. They're very good. They're very professional. But they're running to a clock because they have to stop for the big ceiling show. Thank you, Lily. Engel's Coat Shop, one man, 100 plus skills, dozens of custom tools, endlessly fascinating old school coachwork tech. Does he have a beard and does he wear overalls? We've got to keep things in perspective here. Engel's Coat Shop, one moment. I shall soon answer that question. On YouTube. Engel's Coat Shop. Yes, he's got a beard. Well, that's a good start. Oh, he builds all weird stuff. Yeah, that's weird stuff. That's a vintage Wild Westy type stuff. Not seeing overalls yet. Just traditional Western gear, which might be the theme going on here, I get the feeling. Anyway, the Las Vegas, they're on the stage and off stage, just in the wings of the stage, just the side behind the borders, is a clock, an LED clock. So they can occasionally, as they're dancing about on stage, they can and singing, they can just basically check out the time and say, right, okay, and then they do their wee spiel. Right, we're going to take a break now. The show's coming on the ceiling. Lots of drinks available and promotions over there. Food available over there. Just promoting all the sort of people on Fremont Street. But that clock, it's so interesting watching, because the other me is live streaming. You can actually see my clock change, and then very few seconds after you see that clock change, it must be radio linked. It must be an accurate clock. Clive, you're weird. This is why I watch. Indeed, David. I think we're all weird. Overalls, a donkey jacket, and a hard hat. It's pretty tough getting donkey jackets these days. I used to wear one at work. DCN. The traditional ones would have had the black PVC in the shoulders. The only one I managed to get recently was a sort of fluorescent yellow. It was a coal or oil industry one. And it was big. It's good because it actually fits, which is nice. Simon Coates, an American lad, built his own nuclear reactor years ago. The radioactive Boy Scout. He got radiation stuff from everywhere. But his win was finding radium, a bottle of radium paint inside a clock that he got for the radium off the dials, and then he got more than he could possibly have needed, and he built a breeding reactor, I think. Vertiwolf, get on that ride. What? My clock is 5 hours behind, Mark and Gully. That's an interesting thing. It just shows you the perspective of the time. 5XL equal big fucker. It's huge, nuts and proud. Scrolling down. Don't eat the paint. Definitely don't eat the paint. That's unfortunate. The Radium Girls did Voltar 2M stereo. They were painting the dials with radium paint, and they used to get the bristles to stick together, they used to lick it. And it was their standing joke that, haha, the teeth are glowing. Well, they weren't laughing later on, as they all got mouth problems as a result of that. Please sing us a song. No, Pallet. No singing. The sex bots will hack your scrolling LED display, Gustav Fenk. It's you who will be hacking displays now that I've told you how to do it. Why are they called donkey jackets? I don't know. Because they're made of wool, but I don't know why. Melton. I also used to have, maybe still have somewhere, a pair of Melton trousers, wool trousers for the steelworks. They're not made from real donkeys. I don't think I could find the donkey jacket. I could go and see if I could find a donkey jacket. Just give me a second. It won't take too long. A donkey jacket, a very, very heavy black jacket made of wool. So inherently sort of fire resistant, I suppose, really. And on the shoulders, it's got the PVC yoke over it. Could have been leather in the past, but then switched to PVC so that when it's raining and the rain's coming down the top, it doesn't soak through your shoulders. It actually, and also for wearing when you're carrying pipes and stuff over your shoulders. And the pockets are just basically, this one says GPO, it's a GPO one. The pockets are just basically, it's black so you can't really see. It's just a square patch pocket at the bottom, that is it. There might be an inner pocket. They've all gone fashionable, there is an inner pocket. Just another square pocket inside. The modern fashionable ones, oh, does that have a badge or something on it? I'm not really sure. No, it's not, it's strengthening because it's wool. Let me just scroll up. Scroll in. There's no lining for nautical. There isn't normally a lining. The lining is a fashion thing these days, and the ones they sell these days, the sizes are fashion. The cost is fashion, and it's so that people can pretend to be Neds or teddy boys. Not teddy boys. It wouldn't be teddy boys, but it's punks and things like that. It's a fashion thing. But traditionally that would have been worn with cotton boiler suit. Christian Daw, your clock's in perfect sync with mine. It was synced recently. One is a blue shoulder patch used for prisoners. All right, okay. Kerry Severe, I tried wearing Doc Martens on construction sites and they twigged and I had to actually stop using them because they weren't hard steel toe caps, but that's fine. Big Clive sounds like a porn name. Maybe it is David Aylward. Maybe I do have a porn channel, who knows? Boys in the Black stuff. Yes, indeed. Julie H. Some of the navies worked on donkey engines. A steam-powered winch or log engine providing inspiration to the name of George Key's new coat, the donkey jacket. All right, okay, Nigel Gunn. But they used to be standard. You'd see a lot of workers just wandering around with the overalls and a donkey jacket and a bunnet or a beanie. A friend of mine knocked out a donkey in Blackpool Beach. What did they do to it, sound quote? GPO, God, that's an old jacket. It is Time and Tide. It's from a friend whose dad worked at the GPO and then latterly British Telecom, of course. You should wear electrical boots, John Hughes. I find it hard enough getting ordinary boots instead of dielectric ones. What do you think of air fryers? Just bought one Edinburgh Retro PC. My entire meal this evening was cooked in an air fryer. I use it a lot. They're very good. Mensky is in. Oh, is Mensky here? Greetings, Mensky. Strange enough, I was watching Ashen's video last night. He was reviewing some shitty Poundland stuff. Well, there's a surprise. It looked all right, actually. I'll need to get some shitty Poundland stuff. I particularly like the hand grip camera tripod. I could actually use that. Pork belly and air fart. Holy hell, Brad's Guitar Garage. Probably very crisp. Have you ever had shoes with LEDs in the sole? I've taken them apart. I'm not creative, but I've not got any because they don't do them in size UK 15, American 16. Clear wellies in Rod Item. I've not seen those DCL on clear wellies. That's going to look sweaty. It's good seeing all the mold inside. What does fried air taste like? It's delicious, Days. Don't need on an air fryer when doing frozen chips, fries, nuts, proud, or the roast potatoes out. Frozen roast potatoes, they're great. What phone do you use to record videos, Christian Daw? I use this phone to record videos, which makes it all the more silly that I've actually put a piece of random Chinese software on it. It's a Moto G7 Power. Marky and Gully, I'm considering an air fryer, but I dread cleaning the thing. Are you supposed to clean them? I just tip mine out every so often. I just heat it and then pour it out. I don't clean it an awful lot. They self-sterilize. That's how they work. I'm still alive. Can you air fry a pigeon? You can. They have little Fox AK Benji. Just as long as you can get it in and close the door before it escapes, yes. Your clock is exactly 6 hours off and it's confusing me, Honkler Etta. It's because apparently India is one of the few places that goes in a half-hour increment. It goes in 1 hour steps, so it is 10:24 here. Oh, like a deep fryer cleans itself? Yes, and ovens. That's correct. Airvar equal coronal discharge. What, Mr. I'm not really sure about that. Newfoundland is half an hour. All right, try building. Okay. Hi to you too, Bunny Love. While I so much want clear wellies, I would wear the fishnets, Oscar Wilder. Okay, that's quite odd. I wonder if they do clear waders. Air fryer cleaning equal tipping out the black bits. Well, there you go. Sound Coats agrees. That's it. You don't keep cleaning it. That's what house proud women do. That's sexist, isn't it? That's what they do, though. I wished my car cleaned itself, the DGR. The less clean your car is, the less likely it is to get stolen. If you make it look shiny and desirable, it's going to be more stealable. John Robinson, Moto G7 powers my phone. I like it. It's good for filming stuff. My pants clean themselves. I very much doubt it, Gazarus, not unless you urinate pure water and detergent. Most of my food is cooked in sous vide, sealed in plastic and hot water baths. Probably I'm eating microplastics aplenty. It's fine. Are you still alive? Yes, Marky and Gully, it's fine. My car's a mess usually, never gets messed with. Indeed, Volt R2M stereo. The chips don't taste the same once it's cleaned, Callum Rowley. That is an issue because there are certain cultures that have that they basically leave the oil in the pan to season the next food, and there's always a continual cycle of moving through. Like the big bowls of soup that some people seem to have simmering all the time. What do you use to measure things in the hundreds of megohms, Phenotical? I'd use a mega, but it would test at high voltage. Insulation testing. But if you keep car filthy, the pigs are more likely to put a spot check in it. All right, okay, I've never really had that issue much, Steve. Do you sell any used or worn clothing? I do not, Arthur Two Sheds Jackson. I did in the past sell some old work jackets, and they instantly sold. And a pair of the aforementioned Doc Martens where they basically asked if there were extras available. I think they wanted me to do something into the Doc Marten. I didn't. The person who bought the jacket, it was a well-used work jacket, which I sold, could be used as a prop or whatever, could be used as costume for theatre. They sent me a very weird message suggesting it was being put to good use, and it's like, ugh. Yes. Changing the heater bulb in the air fryer isn't much fun. Dance at Aardvarks. How much does a new heat element cost for the air? Oh no, you're talking about the halogen one. No, mine isn't that. It's a standard oven thing. Did you just all down the front? Yes, DCN, with grease and oil and dirt from work. That's all that goes just down the front. I wanted a car that failed its MOT for being too dirty. That's not right, Thomas. And I think someone was taking liberties there. Eric, the king, Clive, you're worried about the energy prices. What do you make of it all? That's why a project is coming out soon with these little modules. I'm not too worried because I don't use much energy, but if there are rolling blackouts, this is a little project coming up. This is great. This will charge off solar power. It uses discarded vape batteries. It uses a little charging thing. You can power it from solar panels or a USB charger while it's still powering lights, or you can just unplug the lights. You can plug in other things. Maybe a ambient lighting panel, just whatever you want. Very, very useful little module. Clive strikes me as a boxers guy. Zap Sparky, loose cotton baggy fit boxers. No, none of these horrible groinal hugging pants that just basically look like sweat rash in a bag. We could actually burn the Tories and use them for heat. That's an idea. Oh, there's another porn thing. Hold on. Nope. I didn't get to it. Nope. China North Air Guns won this time. Craig Matthews also got one. And Mouse got one. Jesus, wow. You guys are fast. Trigger action. My hair is gone, Der Crawler von Uranus. It's the easiest haircut to get is just shaving your head off. I just realised the lack of mini computer. The supercomputers are temporarily out of position because of this thing. The SMD display modules aren't available on AliExpress anymore, at least not that link. Try building. Just search for video wall panels and you'll find them everywhere. I wonder how many they had. Where's the promised Electro spaghetti? I'll show you the Electro spaghetti, Max Urban. Here is the Electro spaghetti. So what we have here, we have the USB cable is powering it. Now this is a thing to note that you can also put 5 volts directly onto this from a power supply. Don't run too many panels from a 5 volt power supply, a USB lead, because if it displays too much in the way of LEDs at a specific time, the voltage will drop and it will cause it to cut out. This is just suitable for small panels. But you've got the power leads. This gives you an idea. You've got the power leads going to the panels, what they could do. You get the ribbon cable coming on, it's marked input, then output, to input, then output, and so on. And these little brackets here have 3 holes in them. 2 for M3 screws, short M3 screws, don't drive them right through the front of the panel, and a little alignment hole, and they're just identical brackets. The file for those, the script for those is down in the description down below. It's all you need. Here's the circuit board. It says ROS, it's got loads of things on it. CE, FCC, no lead, stuff, don't put in the bin, etc. Reference is the red stripe here aligns with the little arrow at the top of the connector for pin 1. There's the, there's the microcontroller. There is the memory. There is a real-time counter with the battery backup. Couple of serial drivers here, a voltage regulator. That's it, little heartbeat LED to show you things are still ticking. And a big USB connection, not sure what that's for. Maybe I should read the manual. But that's it, you could actually make, hold on, let's see, not short this out. You could make a wearable panel that you could walk about with, because it is battery powered. So, you could actually walk about with a little video wall. I should put that back up there. Let's try not to short it out in the process. That'll do. Men do not read manuals, Brian Cock. I had to go online and look for the guide to actually programming that though, but it didn't take too long. Customer wants a better video sign. I may plunk down $300, see if I can make something a bit better for them, Troy Building. Gives you options, makes it serviceable. These panels are sold by the companies that import them and then rebadge them for making the big video walls. They're sold at they're like, oh, £1,000 per panel, things like that. For some of them saying that, oh, you've got to get them from us, and it will just be one of these panels rebadged. Get to scroll fuck off and see how far you get, DCL on. Yes. Hold on. What happens to the program if the battery dies completely? Soviet Ventures Inc. I think the battery is only for the real-time clock counter to keep the time when the unit's powered off. The programming will stay in because it's in the flash memory. Do the leads and cables come with it? Yes, they do with that. With each of these panels, you get this sort of like the leads, but in that case, they actually put the twin lead for the power, but you get a short ribbon cable with each. But I have ordered some longer ribbon cables. Cosplay badge for a fat lass. Indeed, Simon Coates. I was looking at pads, found some that are flexible you could wrap all the way around. Just be careful not to put too much pressure on those, but yes, you can get curved panels, Goofy Brained, for going around curved surfaces. Talking of which, there's a bit of an incident at a TV station where the building was being worked on. They were craning in a new, big, huge, massively expensive curved sign. They usually, I don't know why they supplied it pre-built on the ground and didn't put it into a frame once the frame was up. But the crane went over and it smashed up the sign quite badly, and there was a cherry picker behind it, but the people were okay. Awkward. Lot of money. Awkward. Building damage as well. Horrible. You could move the rolls of solder to make way for a supercomputer. I could, indeed, move the rolls of solder. Or I could just put on a mouse pewter. Hold on, I shall put on a mouse pewter, and that shall tick the supercomputer box. I just dropped the mouse pewter. Better make sure I don't swallow the battery. Mouse pewter activated. There we go, mouse pewter. Look at that scalp, indeed. Brian Cox. Men read them in secret manuals. Has the power been going out there? It's not, Amulet. Teradici. The power has not been going out here. Wiffle time, Clive. Oh, it is. It's past wiffle time. I counted 5 seconds the last bot. Well done. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that's fast. What is the latency here? 1, 2, 3. 3 seconds. That's pretty good. Whiffling. Nice slow whiffle for maximum gas. Whiffle. Ooh, very, very whiffly. Whiffling. Whiffle. What about this one? More high-pitched noise. I can't hear that because I am old. And if you're young, you can hear it. I can't. I mean, I can hear the hiss, but I don't hear the super high-frequency noise, but I wouldn't expect it. My house electric consumption is present at 370 watts. UK Super Rascal. 1 moment, please. I'll tell you. $549 watts with dehumidifiers running, but also notable that that is apparent power. It's just the current being measured and not the voltage. Naomi Wu would be proud, Graham Shaw says, of the modules. First one sounded like 12 kilohertz. No, I thought it would have been higher, but you could be right, Brad's Guitar Garage. Lick Spark? No, dance aardvarks. Those in fighter sticks are basically tasers. Not really the Barry Shepherd. It's not the same effect when you can get a shock off them, but it's more of a burn than anything else. Can you trust smart meters? No, giant midget, because the power companies will be charging for apparent power in the future because they can make more money doing it. It's just, there's nothing. It's a good idea, but in the hands of parasites, no. Make the video description less modest. We're here because we love you and want to interact. Otherwise, I'll marry you off to my accounts broker who knows nothing about electronics, Soviet Ventures Inc. Definitely don't want to marry an accountant. Do you have a smart meter? No. It's a digital meter here, but it's not a smart meter. They're talking about it though. Teaser in your ball sack? No, Arthur Two-Sheds Jackson. I could put it to my earring, but that's also not a good idea. Electron box it is HP microserver on for the last few days to spin up the disks and sync my cloud data. Reasonable enough. You just do an occasional update. Reasonable enough. You're now a good few minutes behind the comps compared to the live stream. I'm not. Well, that big LED sign isn't what we expect from Big Clive. I mean, it clearly has a more advanced microprocessor than a microchip pick. David Reader, it's just built with modules. It took very little time to actually put that together and learn to program it. ESP32. No, not now you're not, says Graham. Human Seagull's here drinking beer. I too am drinking Guinnessy type beer. How do you know your house power then? I have a little remote display that shows it because it's got a little coil round the, it's got a little pickup transducer, but it's not, it only shows apparent power. David Aylward, I date an accountant, electronics. Talk was great, he would just stare at me, eyes glazed over, drove me nuts. That's it, you need someone who can talk the same things. Smart meters are for ball bags, Raven Looney. I did always get one in Glasgow, a smart meter, but having arranged to be there for when they were going to install it, the guy came out and it was Friday and he looked up and said, oh, it's a bit high. And he said, I'll phone my colleague and see if he's got a pair of steps that might reach that. And you think you don't have fucking steps? And he called his colleague. No, can't. I said, I've got a pair of steps. No, they're aluminium. I'll be electrocuted. Not if you isolate the power downstairs. No, can't do it. I've been upskilled. I'm a fucking meter reader. Yes. So fuck off then. I'm not getting a smart meter. I wanted to test it with capacitors as well. I wanted to test if it was measuring apparent power. Smart water is done. Oh yeah, very well if it's just water. But with a smart name for profits, so in that case it is smart. Oh, is Minky Mutu here? What do the power companies charge you for, Clive? What? Minky Mutu? They give me money to not tell people how to bypass all the meters and say terrible things. He probably wanted a bribe. No. He could ram his smart meter up his ass and see if you still get reception of it. Brian Cox, that talking on actual real Sparky chat. The guy who replaced my meter wore a fucking hard hat. That's what they're like, be junkie. It's box ticking. It's just past the liability. I'm surprised they didn't have a safety harness on. Why haven't you bypassed your meter, Soviet Ventures? A, I don't use that much power, and B, it's not easily to bypass if I did want to do it because it's a coaxial coming in, which means that it would be a bit more complex. I mean, it's doable. Or I could just get a bucket truck and bring in a new feed, possibly. I'm sure I could if I wanted to. But anyway. Minky Mutu, the only reason for smart meters is for surge pricing. Also, they're doing that thing in the UK now, apparently, that they're offering a financial incentive that they'll be able to turn the power off to your house at specific times by using that, switching it to save the electricity, and also encouraging people to use appliances late at night to spread the load, which means that, they'll be penalising with high rates when you use it during the day. This is the first signs that, they can remotely change everything in the smart meters. And they'll be able to charge you for apparent power, which they absolutely will, because it'll make them a fortune when they do so. Because a little plug-in time switch. Let me just grab a plug-in time switch. A plug-in time switch, which uses 1 watt of actual power, but uses capacitive dropper, and a 24 volt relay inside will apparently use 10 times that amount of apparent power just because of the capacitive dropper. So suddenly, for every one of these little meters or your heating timer and stuff like that, instead of getting £1 per year, they'll get £10 per year. With the current prices, that'll be double that. And they'll be saying, well, how many of these are in people's houses? Oh, that's a lot of money. So they're going to charge. It's inevitable. They will charge for apparent power in the future because greedy fucking bastards. Scottish Power, incidentally, nothing to do with Scotland. We'd like to distance ourselves from that completely. Scottish Power is not a Scottish company. The smart meter won't cost a fortune to run, Chris Hartley, because the power is taken off before the metered side. I have an electromechanical plug-in timer, uses very little power, Steve Odler's. The electromechanical timer will actually use less power than this. Real apparent power. Cambridge Mart, our new house is 3 acres of forest and a wood stove. You're sorted. Even just fallen branches will keep your wood stove baking hot all winter. Ralph is a wood stove. It's great. Scottish Power is the biggest scamming lying bastards on earth. No, there's lots of competition, NSA. That's probably the government's, really. Scotland produces more power than it uses. It is Scottish Power, David Reader. Scotland has wind turbines and they never stop. They're always giving it big licks. Even on a calm day, you can see them in the distance spinning away. And at the moment, Scotland is exporting a lot of power, yet our electrical prices, because it's all set by the English government and so on, their buddies, are some of the highest. Yeah. Oh, help yourself to our fucking oil as well, England. Yeah, English government, not England itself, but the English government. Yeah. Very odd. Very odd. Anyway, independence, looking quite, even the most senile old ratbag who's wanting to protect her fucking pension at the expense of everybody, might actually vote for independence this time, although I doubt it because they're pretty gullible. But most of them have died off now. Wow. Kakaparu, highballed Clive, indeed. Super smooth-balled. Is Scotch tape Scottish? I don't think it is, or Kirka, but I can't prove that. How about a circuit across the meter output to eliminate apparent power? Not that easy, days. Power factor correction for electronic loads is horrific. It requires significant active circuitry. If the price of wind has gone up, how much are my farts worth? Martin, if you farted in a jam jar or a plastic bag and put it on eBay, you'd find they're probably worth a lot. There are people who do shit like that. Yes, I'll put this time clock through. It's time for fizzy wine. No, Scary West. Fizzy wine always makes me feel terrible afterwards. It may be fun. It's happened recently in a Patreon stream and I just talked shit again. There's a surprise. Clear you're not using your power saving device, Peter Stevens. I should plug that in. Maybe I should be selling power saving devices. It seems very lucrative. Craig Mash, sorry I'm back to check something. Okay. A geek, not a nerd, said, which it just jumped. I heard that Scotch tape was named that because some use the word Scotch as a barn way to say it had too little adhesive on it. Oh, really? Mark and Gooley's also coming out with that. Quebec tried that too. We're seceding. We still can't get access to Canada Health. Yeah. Try building. It's going to be a very violent parting of ways. It's almost going to be as bad as it's like Brexit was a practice run for independence. So there's going to be lots of bitches. With my luck, I get a sharpener jar. That's actually more expensive. Dancer aardvarks. Why is the LED fireplace green? Because it's green flames. It's got boric acid in it. How big is your load? Arthur Touche Jackson. I would guess it's probably 10 cc. I think it's probably standard, but I've never compared it to others. How do we solve the energy crisis in Europe? Soviet Ventures Inc. It's very simple. All you do is blow up the government and all the looting parasites that have created this completely fake energy shortage by looting. Is it going political yet? Deadlock holiday. What? James Speakman. What? Invade Russia, Brian Cox. Ugh. It's just basically useless. People posturizing. It's just so many people dying. It's horrible. Do you know we can find a 24 volt supply for a 0 to 30 volt 2 milliamp to 3 amp adjustable DC power supply DIY? I trust everyone here, but I need your opinion, ELW. It depends. If you want something safe, it's going to be more expensive. I'd recommend a Meanwell power supply because the Meanwell power supplies are, well, oh, it's DC, it's not AC, but the Meanwell power supplies are the safest power supplies. Do I have a Meanwell power supply in the vicinity here? Not sure if I've got one. In the vicinity here. No, not sure where my Meanwell power supply is. You get waterproof ones as well. I don't think it's not needed. Liz Truss rant, not even worth ranting about, Choverine. The last looting. Are there fake Meanwells? Oh yes, Fan Plant. There are fake Meanwells, but they don't look like Meanwells and they've got a Meanwell sticker on them. I've got one here. It didn't show the Meanwell sticker in it when I bought it. The eBay listing was a generic eBay listing for a generic power supply and it came with a Meanwell sticker on it. Anything that's successful get fakes, absolutely. I mean, that's how they make their money. Meanwell supplies are good, they are. Lieutenant Colonel Panic, they are rated for the current, they say, although I always like to underrun power supplies. And they're properly tested and they pose low accident risk. Fake ones are called mean bad. Or is it meant well? Or Kirka? Or didn't mean well? Clive should be the new game master. I'm not sure about that, ZX Renew. How deep is your love? Depends, Gilbert T. Codwacker. That could be... how deep is your love? Do 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 do. Or it could be... Do 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 do. How deep is your love by... Oh, what was that? The club remix. Do 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 do. Can't remember. Was a Fairground classic for a while. Is Ain't Big Ain't Clever here? Greetings, Ain't Big Ain't Clever. It'll be interesting to start charging based on apparent power. As I just said, as solar and battery inverters play hell with it right now. My meter's showing a power factor of 0.025. Oh shit. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. They're Ain't Big Ain't Clever. They are going to end up charging for apparent power. It's not maybe, they will. Because they're looking for money. And they'll get money in any way they can and then say, well, you're just going to have to... Calvin Harris Disciples, that is the other one, sound quotes, yep. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. With a touch of techno. I can't remember who it was. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Big Clive is a Paula audio chip. Rio Pridos. Clive ranted for longer than she has brain cells. Just pay them in apparent money. Indeed, Matambala. That's a good thing. Darude Sandstorm. No, garbage user. Not even remotely close. Yes. I think should so good lights for rolling blackout lighting. Gilbert T. Codwhacker. are these. I mean, they'd be fine for that, but this is solar panel ready. It's got a couple of connections on it for a solar panel. A 6-volt solar panel with a diode or a 5-volt solar panel. Any energy will be diverted into these disposable cells. That video is coming soon. I have to say, quite a laid-back ambient video. It was quite enjoyable to make. Oh, talking of which. From Philip Dixon. He machined this out of brass, takes the magnetic bits. It's heavy. It's unusually heavy when you pick it up. It's a hand-machined screwdriver. It's pretty neat. I shall show that in videos. I can't run my telly off that. DC out. You can't, but you can watch your phone and you can use things to charge your phone and then watch telly on that, or YouTube, it's better. Paula was just variable rate PCM, no synthesis. All right, Raven Looney. Verdwolf rifle round. Talking of rifles. Maybe this is why I got demonetized. Gun. Lovely gun. This is a bolt gun, but it's not a bolt gun because its trigger won't pull. It won't cock back. This is a prop. It was one of the spares from the castings of the video that I may not release for a while because it does involve a prop, and I can't necessarily release that until the thing is released. Patrons saw it, but it was just basically I was having a wee rant. There's a surprise about the short notice I got for electronics because in the script of this particular production, although it's a bolt gun, it's an electronic bolt gun that goes into a charging cradle, and they've used an explosive bolt gun, but they've built a charging cradle for it. And if John went the full hog, there'll be a little extra secret button on the side. It was hollowed out in here with batteries, and there'll be a little orange LED in the tip just to show it's active. The steel one, I didn't make it at Max Urban. This was made by a professional prop making company that I supplied the electronics to them. But it is seamless. It's an absolutely immaculate copy of the real thing, which weighed a ton and felt very nice to hold. But it is a bolt gun. If you cock it back and pull this thing back, it ejects the blank, put a new blank in, and when you pull the trigger, it slams up, fires the bolt, the blank, and a metal pin just comes out and retracts again into the gun. It was really heavy, felt great. This feels great because this is an absolutely immaculate moulding of that. Look at the wood effect. How the fuck did he do that? I think that's painted onto the resin. I don't know, he's just so good. He is a professional prop maker. Is it 20, 25 years he's been making props continually? Very unglamorous industry. Congratulations, Serverland Saturday Night Special, Zadster. It does look like a Blake 7 gun. I've been watching more Blake 7. Oh, the costumes are fucking immaculate in that show. There are some that are a bit weird, but it was done on a budget. Some of the control panels are clearly made of wood. Slightly lower resolution, it looks fine. Blake 7, good storyline. Fantastic props and sets for the money involved in that production. It was fantastic. Bolt gun to kill large animals. It is, Rifleman. I'd be tempted to run around saying, pew, pew, pew. What makes you think I didn't? Zap Sparky. Okay, truss you bitch. Here's what you deserve. Pew. Yes, and things like that. The House of Lords is in session. That's how I feel these days. I think that's how a lot of people feel. Maybe I should have poll. What is your confidence in your government? I think it will be the same everywhere in the world. Max Urban is leaving messages in Russian. Winky Moocher. Clive runs around with this wanger out dying poo poo poo. I don't even know what that means. Are you pished? Build an ORAC. The ORAC's a lovely computer, Lord Elpis. The circuit board inside, it's real. I mean, there are fake circuit boards. If you ever see close-ups of the original prop, you can see the drive transistors for the lamps and the chips. Why pretend? It isn't hard for me to get access to firearms legally, John McFern. I'm probably better not actually have a gun. House of Lords, you'd only kill a handful, it's always empty. Ah, Simon Coates. I'd be waiting until they were there in session with all their wigs and robes on, looking to give themselves a pay rise, and then it would, yeah. Anyway, let's not go there. This is why I have to take videos down when I say things. I've no faith in the government, but then who has? Oh, there's a good shot, China North Air Guns. Craig Matthews, China North Air Guns, yeah, ELW, excellent. Good job, Mouse. The sex bots are coming in thick and fast, and they're using multiple, because they're coming in so quickly that they're defeating the 10-second. That's why there is a slight thing as well. Oh, stop people just blasting. Is MD turned on by the sex bots? I'm not. Are people now that I'm so desperate for sex. Oh, she's posted a wee love heart and there's a picture of a woman with tits. I'll go and click on that and hand in my bank details right now for a wank. Is that what they're doing? I don't get that. Why are there not bear bots? I shouldn't say that in case they do launch them. I want you to touch my broad shoulders. Yes. Anyway, toast to prop makers again, Clive. Yes, you know what? Because the prop makers, the unsung heroes. Your voltage is wrong then. What? Don't blow the House Lords blow atomized hydrofluoric acid, make them suffer for the day. Oh, wow, redneck atheist, that's quite severe. I'm just going to put this through and grab another one. But there will be a Jaeger Munich in very soon when the clock hits 30. It's probably going to do it now. Well, not 30, o'clock. The fake gun came packed in candy, which was quite nice. All guns should be packed in candy. It makes them less threatening. Hold on, let me get the candy box. I may have eaten some of the candy. I shall have something soft so I don't just gum and chew it all the way through the video. Galaxy Caramel. It is time for a toast to the unsung heroes of the television and film industry, especially in the UK because they just don't get credits, to the prop makers working behind the scenes to make your films more convincing. To the prop makers. Example of that in Scotland, John Riddell. Oh fuck, I've just doxed him, haven't I? Anyway, if you need props made, John may be your man, but pay properly. Not like the BBC always saying, oh, we need it at short notice and we've no money because we're the BBC. Oh, we're so fucking poor. You're fucking not. Anyway, John, master prop maker, he's been working in the industry with a prop company. Full time. He owns a prop company, big workshop, always busy making props. 2 TV and film credits to his name. In the same way, I have 1 proper TV credit to my name, despite working doing the electronics, a lot of props, because the actual prop makers, the art departments always get the credits as being the prop makers. The people that actually make the props, for real, don't get credits. And it riled me a lot. Scottish BAFTAs. I hope someone from the Scottish BAFTAs is listening to this. I'll just open my Guinness. I hope someone from the Scottish BAFTAs is listening to this. When John and Kate were making your huge gold BAFTA, huge, massive set dressing sort of like replicas of the BAFTAs, you didn't ever credit anybody in the Scottish prop making industry. It's all you're just fawning over the actors. You never credit the people behind the scenes. Also, Scottish film, sort of innocent fucking arts industry founded, detached from reality, lovey fucking club, decided that Scotland needed real prop making companies and the best place to get them was England, so they funded an English company to come up, and they gave them loads of money and property and grants and funding, and just completely ignored all the Scottish prop makers and said, let's just put them out of business, shall we? Because we're a bunch of inbred fucktards. Wow, goodness is quite strong. So, Scottish film, go and fuck yourselves, you inbred pieces of shit. That's all I can say about that. Teach the same. Never credit the support staff, ever. Absolutely, Graham Shaw. And it's the glamour of prop making. Thoughts on Glasgow not getting Eurovision. That's a good thing, Chipmunk, because it's just a money pit. They'd have to, if Glasgow got Eurovision, they'd have to paint the pavements black like they did at Olympics, or was it the Commonwealth Games, where they actually, in the areas around it, they put this wafer thin, ultra thin coating of new tarmac, basically just rolled on over the surface just to make the pavements look new without actually having to maintain them. And they filled the potholes with resin just to basically just ride over that thing. It's like the Queen saying that everywhere smells like paint because they paint it just for that, just for our visit. Rant. The P90 looks cool as hell. Minky Mutu. P90. Okay. The Queen is dead. James Speakman, long live the King. What about the NIC, EIC? It's just I've just burnt out on those fucktards. Yes, Vera de Wolf. Yes, it's the Queen who is smelling now. Oh, the P90 is a pistol. All right. Did you know a lot? Well, you probably do if you're a movie buff. A lot of the props start off. I'll just get the viewer on for the moustache. A lot of the props start off. The space guns start off as a real gun because it's good to build around, and then they put all the trim around it. But it's already got the trigger and the handle and everything in position. I'm not an expert in guns. Big Clive Rants, new channel idea. Isn't this Big Clive Live, Lewis Varley? Maybe I should just have a special rant screen comes up in there as well. P90 is a gun they use in Stargate. One of the most interesting prop guns was the ones used by the Sandmen in Logan's Run. Because they used a little gas cylinder and igniter to actually shoot a flame out the end when they fire them. When they pull the trigger, it actually shoots a flame out the end to give it the real. So when you see the flames come out, that's not CGI, that's real. But it was apparently the standing joke that they failed all the time, which isn't surprising. Advertise Big Clive Live on your main channel. The following disparity is huge. I don't want it to be too big. Soviet Ventures Inc. The chat is already whizzing up too fast. People can find out, I think it's about a year since I did the last live stream on, it's over a year. It is about a year actually since I did a live stream on my main channel. Every time I do it, people unsubscribe because I don't look like they were expecting, and they're like, like his teeth are missing and he has a beard. It's like, look at the fucking avatar. Yes, there's a fucking beard. Anyway, I don't look like they look. They think I'm some lovely old man, some old grandpa. Do I look like a grandpa? Bad grandpa. Flash paper gun. They're quite good. The flash paper, it wasn't a flash paper gun they used, JC2529. It was a little gas cylinder. Are we mods in the main channel? There are mods in the main channel, Craig Matthews, but I'm not sure it's different ones. You're a beautiful bear, Kakapera. Why, thank you. I don't know. You can never really be a judge of that yourself. The weirdie with the beardy, indeed, Tom Houston. You need to do a Talking Hands Making Shit live stream again, Horvath. It's a long time since I did that one. What was I doing? Oh, I remember. It was the high voltage positive ion generator that I built. It looked pretty good. But people always unsubscribe. That's why I had to come over here and do that, because it's easy to upset people. Oh well, maybe they're just better gone anyway if they're going to unsubscribe. It's like, bye! Martin Balforth, you've been here for a while, so this isn't one of these rogue postings. Please read this. I'm currently fighting blindness in one eye, along with chronic severe nerve pain. What's actually happened? Oh, don't take your life. Don't attempt to take your life. It's. No. Things are going to be fine, Martin. Don't do that. Things will resolve probably with time, but don't take your life. That is not a solution. Just adapt. Oddly, there's a post in another HVAC channel, Brett and Chris, who were talking about, like, the fact that men don't talk about what's going through their minds. And I've seen this before, that it's just you're expected to deal with it. Have you ever been heading out to work one day and you suddenly do realize you can't face it anymore? I've had that. So you go through spells of that. Because it's people who work, do technical jobs, they're put under a lot of pressure. They are put under huge amounts of pressure. Simon says, I could just see Big Clive in a Weathers original advert, lovely bouncing a pretend grandchild in his knee. I don't think I'll be bouncing any child in me, thank you very much. Sounds like pedo shit right there. Treasure Bloke, and the mechanical countdown tower plugs that physically close the switch and therefore don't charge apparent power and don't switch on again without a manual setting. What? The countdown? I think they physically power themselves off. I'm not sure then, not really sure. Ah. But things happen in life. And they often resolve themselves. Your brain adapts to things. Like if you do lose sight in one eye, your brain will simply adapt to it. And if you were to lose it in both eyes, it would adapt again. Talking which, I've been visited by a cat and it's clearly deaf. Because it's a Manx cat, it's got no tail. And I've been trying to find out, I put a notice in a Ramsey forum, sort of community forum, asking, does this just kind of check, is this someone's cat? Is it a stray cat that's basically set up home in my garden shed? And it doesn't, it is apparently feral, completely feral, but it's deaf because it was sitting on my porch looking out the front door and I opened the door and said, oh, hello, kitty, and it didn't respond. And you'd expect a cat to look around, and I was thinking, that's odd, and I clapped my hands. It didn't respond. As soon as I came into its sight, it darted off. That's a shame. But the cat has adapted. It's doing fine. Steve, I'm the suffering silence guy. That's really me too, but it's apparently not what you're supposed to do. But they're the ones to worry about. Horvath, men suffer from their own toxic masculinity the most. I don't think so. I think they suffer from the amount of stress they're put under at work, the liability, everything that's burdened on them, and having to look after families that aren't necessarily appreciative of being looked after. Do you have wallabies in your garden shed? No, Thomas McBurney, because I don't like wallabies because they don't fit in the air fryer, not without cutting them up into little pieces. It is a wild kitty, Mr. Eggcake. Scissor Fight, love the LED sign. You'll find links to everything needed to make one down in the description of this video. There will be puzzles. You will have to work out how to use the software to program it, but it does it on your phone. My cat's in heat, ugh. Right, apparently, right, David Aylward, I'm not sure should recommend this. Apparently, because I read this, someone shoved a cotton bud into their cat's vag and then gave it a good seeing to with the cotton bud, and that brings them off heat. But I'm not sure I would recommend that. But you'll probably find more information about that on the internet, because apparently this is a thing. And they say if you get the wrong hole, they'll let you know, etc. Night all, heading up for the evening, Troy Building. Have a good evening. I currently have 9 cats and 7 kittens, White Sapphire. That's quite a lot. Make sure they're all spayed and neutered. Have you turned your doorbell off? Asking for a friend, Rumsa. The doorbell is on, Rumsa. Rumsa, are you at the door? Should I let him in? I should go and check. I'm kind of worried now. One moment, please. Nobody there. He's probably just taking the piss. Anyway, I think he is just trolling. He'll be sitting in front of his computer playing games and satiated fucking bachelor lifestyle, probably. I'm a homemate. Don't know why you went off. You see, Rumsa, you're a dick. I can program this message sound. I can make it say June is a cunt. Might just do that. Might just do that, June. Might just do that right now. I've got my phone here and I'm just going to connect to this sign. Okay. LEDR. Hold on. Juan is a cunt. What colour? Oh, it's corrected. It's actually spell corrected it from cunt to count because it's got a rudeness filter in it apparently. Uh-huh. Ah, that feels so good. Right. That'll do. And then we can just save that. And we can actually put that in and also add a wee clock every time it comes round. And there we go. It's the new message. Demonetized. Too slow. Too slow. Soon sort that out. Uh-huh. Is that better? Right, okay, that'll do. And I'll put the clock back in again. It needs a border. It could have a border. We could give June a gay rainbow border. Hold on here. So going back into the sign here. Border. Do we do a background? Do we do expanding diamonds? No. Where's the fireworks? There was a fireworks one. Random. Okay, that'll do. How's that? That'll do it. Uh-huh. But it's not great, is it? It looks more like it's malfunctioning. June is a... Yeah, Akirka, that's it. It will get demonetized for this. That's okay. I can do something about this, right? I can actually make it... I can make it plate. There we go. Sorted. It's now plate. It's not rude anymore. But anyway, all this without carbonated wine, it's what he deserves. Or how about, mm, uh, 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 right, mm-hmm, and then send and do that, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. There we go. Oh, that should be pink though, shouldn't it? Anyway, that's enough of this foolishness. We do need another Super Gay Rainbow Exploding USB Power Supply game. I only got one accusation of being homophobic about that. What's that science power consumption in the Hoppy Ozone Summit? It's running on 5 volts and it's only 300 milliamps, so you can work that out yourself. It's not that much. It's like 2 watts for that panel, but it's at a low intensity. Sure selling the panel, Verdi Wolf. It's very versatile. Well, not just selling the panel, they've apparently sold out. Someone is saying they've sold all of them that are on that. I don't know if they had that many left. Well, they don't now. They've got none left, apparently. Ah, 2 watts equal 1 watt. Indeed, Brian Cox. It's not much power. It is at low level. I mean, it's still very bright. It's comfortable brightness, but it's I put it to the lowest level for camera friendliness. Oscar Wilde, if there's a knock on the door of NBC, Big Clive would freak. No, because the NBC are not. Well, June is. Well, they're both in their homes at the moment. Can it show images? The more upmarket ones, Max Urban, you can display photos on them. There may be a beautiful takeaway being eaten by the deaf cat. Oh, says Chris. The deaf cat gets little treats put out. It's overcoming its shyness a little bit. I'm not sure she'd be encouraging this, but hey. When I put it up and it became apparent that it is just a little vagabond kitty, I think it was a local vet, not really sure. They said if you ever manage to catch it, which is no hope, because it is not really tame, they would collect it and check it for a chip, and if it wasn't chipped, they'd neuter it to stop it making kittens. Richard Bryan Smith, hello, Richard Bryan Smith. NBC could mean many things. It could. There's probably an organisation, I'm not really sure, but Manx Beard Club is what it stands for, which is a joke club. Hold on. I shall change the message to something else. Something tamer and politer. Something like mouse pewters. Mouse pewters. That'll do. I'll go and upload that to the sign with the clock. Job done. Catch a feral cat. Yeah, I know. Hey, little. is a thing, I suppose, really.
Isn't that a boy pussy, a bussy?
Guinness? Is Guinness okay for you?
I'm sober.
Oh, right. Oh, right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's fucked that up then. You can have cream soda if you want. It's the cunt has arrived. June is. I've changed it, yeah. But if you've got any other things, June's not even going to drink because he's doing sober October.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you missed a big hair on your head there.
Did I miss a big hair? All right, okay.
Missed a few.
Yeah, probably. Guys, I said if you've missed hairs, but it must be the resolution. They didn't see it.
Well, yeah, it's only the angle. Shave.
So June won't be saying inappropriate things because he's not been drinking, which kind of ruins everything, really, ultimately.
Well, you say that, but every time that me and Kev come up, we're absolutely shit-faced. You moan about that too.
Yes. But to be fair, it's more enjoyable when everybody is pissed.
Why is this Brian
Young... there's
Young...
another sex.
Why is this
robot.
Brian Young fella talking about my kids?
Brian Young, what?
He asked when I was on the chat before, and he's just asked Ewan about his kids. I don't have any kids, so it's confusing.
Who the fuck would have kids? Kids are just a fucking liability. Do you like my sign?
It's very cool.
It was so fucking cheap to get the bits, and it's basically
cheaper
just
than like 50 Christmas trees.
Yes, indeed.
That's not very cheap at all.
It's not.
I've been looking at
it. You need lots of them, but you can get basic ones. They have to be kind of flame proof.
Oh, the Mars.
You can take a few of these if you want. This is what the gun came packed in.
Oh yes. I saw your gun down there.
I'm gonna have that. I've not eaten this one yet. I can give you a soft drink if you want.
No,
I'll give you cream soda.
It's okay.
I could make you coffee.
No, I don't really drink coffee. This is the first thing I've eaten all day.
Okay. Maybe it means June looks like a goat. What? Maybe kids is a euphemism, Lumavere. I don't really know. This is wavering up and down in intensity.
Hello to everyone who's saying hello.
So adventures, Clive clone in the manageable format. He's an unmanageable format. This is the accountant.
I'm not an accountant.
You're not an accountant. You're a compliance officer, but it's the same thing. It's money, people.
Is it though?
Yes. Is that June the cunt, says Thomas McBurney? It is actually June the cunt. June lives fairly close by, Mr. Phil. It's very hard to live far away.
Yeah.
But it usually takes me 20 minutes to walk over to June's by foot. As opposed to walking over, like, on car.
Yeah, it was about 10-15 minute walk. 15-minute walk.
A woofle would be very dangerous. But you drove over.
Yeah, I drove.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the one benefit of being sober, isn't it? Don't have to...
Looking forward to seeing that path lit at night on the way back, because I see they've put the sensors up on the path.
I still don't know whether... well, depends when we finish, because I believe it's going to be lit until 1, the same as every other street light.
And then it will be on sensors?
No, it goes on sensors from 11, I think.
Oh, right, okay.
So it certainly starts dimming, unless it's...
Because I noticed the sensor at the gym end is pointing right into the road, so it means any car passing it is going to trigger it. It's also cable tied onto the pole instead of being properly metal banded. And if this is the pole, right, if that's the path is over there, right?
You don't like the Mars bars?
And this is it's a political thing. If this is the pole, right, and this is the antenna on the unit that's actually communicating with all the ones along the path, they've put it right in the position that the pole's going to block the signal and it's going to create a dead field. It's the only bounce signal. But anyway, we'll find out.
Well, it was set up by English people, so we...
Yes, they ship people in. The Isle of Man is too dumb to put up their own sensors, apparently. They should have turned to one. It would be cheaper in the long run.
4 years, you're probably not going to...
But anyway, I assessed them. You may have noticed that. The cable ties were just...
always makes me nervous when people know who I am.
Amulet Terradici. The best thing is to get them down. You don't even need a bucket truck because you just take I think it's a hex screw out, and you can actually hinge the whole lamppost down and steal the sensor. Maybe I'll steal the sensor and take it apart in the video.
That'll teach us. I mean them. How come you don't like Mars bars?
Who's June? June is a
reasons.
friend with a beard who is part of the threesome called the MBC, the Max Beard Club, who just coincidentally all had beards. And we occasionally meet for beer, but not at the moment because June is actually having a teetotal month. A fuck it truck, do you see on? A fuck it truck indeed. Oh, watch this. You might be impressed by this, June, right? These are Poundland's blue blocker glasses that block all blue light.
And
But watch this. Watch what they actually do, right?
they're my glasses.
Oh, right, okay, that won't work. That won't work. I was about to shoot June's glasses with a laser. But watch this, right?
They hurt.
Here's a blue laser, right? Watch when it goes in the front.
I'll just block it.
It blocks it completely. Nothing gets through that. Just to, in case you guys didn't see this before, shooting a laser at the Ave thing, in fact, up there, because you can still see it up there, can't you? Yes, you can. And then I put this thing, it just absolutely blocks it completely. Nothing gets through. Pretty impressive. Also noting that the optics are terrible in this.
Yeah, I mean, no blue lights getting through, and also no availability to.
There is blue lights coming through just fine. Look, there's blue, right? It's just violet it blocks. Do you know what this is? Can you work out what this is?
It's a set of lights.
It's a set of lights. Do you know what's special about it?
The battery.
You won't give a shit. They are battery, rechargeable battery powered, right? These are out of the disposable vapes you occasionally see in the street.
What, the lights?
No, not the lights. The little batteries. I mean, that'd be nice if they had enough LEDs in them.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you know what this
sometimes
is?
they light
Do you know
up.
what this is?
That's a specimen jar.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good. Oh, right, yeah.
Gadolinium. It's one of the most radioactive materials on Earth. I'm only kidding. It's
Mate,
not
I've been to
radioactive.
Chernobyl 3 times.
You
I
have
don't
been
give
to
two shits
Chernobyl. You
about that.
probably do it as a challenge. I'm going to eat the last Maltesers one, by the way.
Probably.
Put the glasses to the camera lens. It wouldn't block the light. If we put the glasses to the camera lens, because it's seeing the fluorescence, but that is it through the camera lens, so it doesn't really block much of the blue light, does it? What happens if you shine the laser through glasses front to back? I would expect to block it as well, because it is what appears to be a dichroic filter. Blips with LED lights reflect. They exist, Jeffrey Waldo. Is Kev's mark still in the ceiling?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Justine Allison. Is it in the ceiling? Yeah.
It is the
Yeah,
ceiling.
it's on the fucking ceiling. Do you know, I have a new setup. I can record shorts here, but the downside is the first thing I spotted.
Oh, you are wearing shorts.
The first thing I spotted is you can see the big, huge sooty skid mark in the ceiling when I record them.
Oh, no. It'd be terrible if people thought you lived in a messy house.
Does it block the purple string lights? Don't think it would, because they are blue and so hold on. No blocking going on. It's very specific wavelength, which is how dichroic filters work. What about red-green laser? No, it won't block those. It's specifically a dichroic filter. Nicholas Bloke is a dick, Esther. Well, that's charming. I mean, yeah, he can be a dick.
I like the way he's now known as Nicholas Bloke. That's the
Nicholas
most
Bloke.
amusing thing.
What is his name?
Kev.
I-
Oh, fuck.
Anyway, Kevin, yes. He is a dick, though, at times, but that's okay. But you're both dicks. I can be a dick as well.
Oh, can you?
I want to see June's shirt. The ears are enticing. It's a lurid Cheshire cat with sort of like dribbling. That's semen. It's Bukkake cat.
It's a... Shut up.
How long is the stream? The stream is going on. Actually, it's already gone on too long, hasn't it? The
Yes.
stream is going on.
I was surprised that you were still online when
Yeah.
I turned up.
Because normally it's cut down to 2 hours, but I've obviously been distracted. Very gay. It is very gay, yes. Demonetized again, fine. Maybe find a failing LED with a phosphor failing. Red fan. That'd be a violet LED, but it wouldn't be the deep violet. Or it'd be a dichroic set through analyzer to determine its characteristics electron box. What's the point of blue blocking glasses, scissor fight? It's for Karens to protect them from the death beams from streetlights, probably. Did you just fart?
No, I burped.
Oh, right, okay. But anyway, it turns out they are dichroic and they block very specific wavelengths. It is woofle time. Could you pass me the woofler, please?
Oh, well posh.
Woofle. Oh.
I'm sure you used to put a lot more woofle in that.
What? Woofle. That's very woofly still.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm sure the previous
liquid.
times it was like me all over the place, but it still made the same amount of flame.
Oh, that spider is not pleased. That spider is not pleased about the woofle at all, is it?
Well, it's one of those ones with the horrible big knee joints.
It is one of those horrible spiders. The ones that does that swirly thing when it's like annoyed. Oh well, that's what flamethrowers are for. Don't set fire to June. It's usually Kevin we set fire to. But anyway, the stream will be finishing in 6 minutes. Just so you know that. Burst back.
It's
Yes.
22.
Can
Why
you hear the
22?
high-pitched whine from the lighter? It's just a random time because it was supposed to end earlier, but that's all right. You can hear the high-pitched whine? Oh, yes, you can.
That looks rather
Ah,
sinister.
yes, it is. Do you know what happens? You touch people with...
Imagine it hurt.
No, I don't think it does. But it will sting, but it won't actually give you a shock as such. But it will burn. Leave it alone. Got to go now. Good night. Good night, Richard. Swirly spiders, Lumi Bear. They sort of swirl around like that when you annoy them. I thought the boys were banned. They are banned, James Hauser, but they just keep coming over. Anyway.
Also, just singular, so it's not two, so that doesn't count.
And it's Kevin when he's really pissed and he drinks methylated spirits and then says things. Yes, and doxes people.
You
It was
keep
me.
on
It's me that did the doxing, wasn't it? Actually,
No, I thought it was him because he was holding his phone up.
I kind of held it up though.
Oh.
I use Instant Light for artwork, 100% CRI, fuck your LEDs. Oh, right, Conor Jonathan Hughes. You can get high colour rendering index LEDs. Just don't turn your back on the parts bins. Indeed, yes. Yes, a grumpy drunk, Lorm. I'm not sure what that means. Awesome live stream, Big Clive. So what was in June's bag? What was in your bag? You didn't have a bag.
This is the bag you're obsessed with from the live
Oh,
stream.
that bag, the mystery bag. You're actually sound kind of edgy about that. That contains...
Like, there's no.
Do you know what was in the bag?
Answer, there's no answer.
Do you know what's in the
That
bag?
would make you happy.
A dark Dune secret. That's what was in the bag. For online stuff or role play and sexual fantasy, probably. That's probably what was in it.
I don't have either of those things. So
Oh,
it's
right,
fine.
okay. That's fine. But he'd never confess there was a head, probably. There's a corpse in it. It's probably
Wasn't that
stuffed
bad?
with money. I hope you changed it from the paper notes if it was Bank of England.
Oh, shit.
To the, the plastic ones.
To be fair, I found $300 the other day. In the
Oh, right, okay.
wallet.
Oh, that's probably increased in value because, as I said, congratulations to Americans, your dollar is now equal to £1, probably.
Good enough.
A butt baby. Yes, that's aardvarks. You do get baby dildos. I'm not sure what that's.
Luma Bear can't spell
A
Guinness,
rubber
right?
suit, Max Urban. Probably a very big one because they do
I was
make them.
gonna say, you seen the
A
size of me?
fursuit, K. Ebert. They make them your size. They make them big inflatable ones. So
Well,
yeah.
but no one needs to see me in one of those. Jesus.
Yes,
wept.
that yes. Indeed. Greetings, Chris Elzinger. You've just arrived at the very end. It's 3 minutes to go to the end of the stream. First time ever having an NBC Beer Festival. We should, Gaz.
I'm
Young lad,
away
we
on the
should
1st of
celebrate.
November.
Oh,
I'm in
where are you?
Gabon.
Where?
Gabon.
Gabon. Oh, right, okay. What are you doing there?
Just mooching about for a week.
Good job, guys, in removing the chat bots. I see they're just peppering it these days, but that's okay. Max Urban has retracted the message. That's not fat, fluffy amulet Teradishi. You can have June if you wish. I've just given you away.
Thanks. Well,
Did you miss Jaeger time? I don't think I missed Jaeger time. That was a whiffle there, Nissacat. I used to pay a lot for high CRI flare tubes, now use LED placements and no longer care, Marky and Gully. Reasonable enough. Ralph has just ordered an absolute shit ton of formaldehyde. He ordered enough to do him something like 2 years because he reckons there's a shortage of it coming up. I believe that there may already now be a shortage.
Professionally or
Professionally, yes, because that's what he uses to preserve dead people. I like that flame colour in the fake fire. It is. It's gone green on the fake fireplace behind June. Pound dollar, £1 to $1.11 is pretty good, actually. That's all right. Chris Hartley says, slow down and get rid of the sex bots. I want to know where to give all my credit card details. Oh, there's lots of places willing to take your credit card details. Will be a shortage. Ralphie has it all now. Means Ralph has a monopoly on dead people, apparently. I think that's what it means.
Well, apparently he's very good as an undertaker. People are dying to use him.
Yes, indeed. It's the thing that, no matter how bad the recession or when all the stock market crashes, etc., blah, 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 and everybody's like topping themselves, that Ralph's never out of business. His online store, Elliot Veers, it's there, but I really have to open it at some point. But I'm just waiting for the postal service to get its act together again. But it still costs an absolute fortune to ship stuff to America. It's unbelievable what they're charging as a direct result of something Donald Trump did. And it was multiplied considerably by the local postal service. Not the local one, but Royal Mail. Does Ralphie do cremations? The bodies, Noosa Cat, get embalmed. If they're not being cremated immediately, they get embalmed before being cremated, and then all the formaldehyde must go up the chimney, I guess. Anyway, the stream... tug beard tug, no. Riggs Rads Viz, one does not tug beards, although... When I went into after our last beer session, I went into the Star Bar and Grill. Someone came and played about the beard because they were very pissed, which was a bit weird.
Boils my piss when people do that. I also don't like the fact they don't even say anything. They just stick their hand. And then if you do it back to them, they get real pissed off.
Yes. But anyway, it's like the women, there's a fad of the women coming up and touching the beard. If you ran your fingers through their hair, they'd probably call the police or something like that.
I appreciate we've got different views on that one, but I wouldn't mind a woman running her fingers around my beard. If it then meant she would be wanting to have sex with me, but the issue is
right, okay, that would not be a good result for me. If a woman touched my beard and then demanded sex, that would not be good.
Well,
Make Ralphie a human-sized whiff. They're not that efficient at combusting bodies, Frank Walker. But anyway... The stream is now coming to an end, and I shall see you next week, except the patrons, who I shall see on Thursday for a Patreon stream. So I shall catch you then. Have a good week.